Ilorin is the capital city of Kwara State, one of the 36 states in Nigeria. It is admired for its tranquil nature and harmonious coexistence amongst various ethnic groups, hence tagged the state of harmony. With a generous landmass, Kwara State is located in the north-central geopolitical zone, commonly referred to as the Middle Belt. In 2009, the state government, under the leadership of Governor Bukola Saraki, established Kwara State University, KWASU, and appointed Professor of African American Studies from Western Illinois University, Abdulrasheed Na Allah, as its pioneer Vice-Chancellor, starting with just 550 students. From a blank sheet of paper and a bushy but extensive landscape at Malete, Professor Na Allah gets to the task like a hurricane, armed with vision, commitment, and high dose of energy. What you are about to see are some eye-opening landmark details about the man, Professor Abdulrasheed Na Allah, and some illuminating events that took place during his 10-year tenure as the Vice-Chancellor of the Flying University, with over 20,000 students across various undergraduate and postgraduate programs.
I just see myself as an Ilorin boy because I was born and brought up here, even though occasionally I went into the far north, came back also to Ilorin, but I was born in Ilorin here, and I went to primary school here, as Islam Primary School, to be specific. My father, his name is Ahmed Na Allah, and my mom's name is Belkis Olontoyin Na Allah. Pretty much a typical Ilorin boy in the sense that I went through the usual growing up activities of a child at that time.
Abridged, the new festival. So the instead your money, Allah ubami munyawa, Allah ubami mokawa, Allah ubami mobewa, Allah ubami ferasi, Allah ufumilowo, Allah ukifizetire.
Going to the Quranic school, interacting at the levels of traditional activities, wiri, yall, whatnot, meeting, lotimbo, all the kind of things we do during Ramadan and so on.
His aunt reminisces about Professor Na Allah's generous nature.
I have a nutshell. That's who I am. A scholar in the sense that my training has always been about teaching, about scholarship.
In spite of his admirable accomplishment, Professor Na Allah is not one to take all the glory. He acknowledges people whose significant contributions have shaped his life. He boasts about a few of those without whom his life may have taken an entirely different course.
There's no way it can be one person. There are so many, from my dad and my mom. I must start from them. Very exemplary life that they lived. And my mom is still alive. I mean, she's still the same that I knew from the very beginning. And then my teachers all over, in fact, up to PhD level. I've been such a lucky guy. We had Indians, we had British teachers, we had, Nigerians, and we had people even from other parts of Africa, like Kenya, like Ghana, who are all in the modern European languages. And nobody will expect, as a university administrator, especially a public university, that it will come a time when your proprietor will say, no money, zero money. I never expected that. I mean, when we started Kwara State University, we started with the belief, and that is the way we've mobilized ourselves, that government cannot provide everything. Also, I believe that there was no way government will be 100% responsible for all the funds that we use. So we started with a strategy to mobilize for funding from all over the world to wherever support.
In May 2019, barely 2 months before Professor Na Allah's July 27th end of a 10-year tenure as the pioneer Vice-Chancellor of KWASU, information filters the air about his immediate removal from office. The University Council, entire university community and well-wishers reject the abrupt, unceremonious and unjustified removal, demonstrating their displeasure through the media and protest, thereby resulting in more popularity for Professor Na Allah.
The Student Union of Kwara State University expresses its dissatisfaction at the decision of the Kwara State government. I hereby give the state government 24 hours ultimatum.
For me, for all of us, Professor Na Allah is still our vice. We don't
In reaction to the Student Union's 24 hours ultimatum and recalcitrant stance of the University Council members led by Professors Saka Mahmood and AGF Alabi, including all staff and well-wishers of the university, Governor Ahmed backed down from firing the Vice-Chancellor. The news of Professor Na Allah's new appointment as the Vice-Chancellor of University of Abuja broke, with family and KWASU staff members meeting him on his return from Abuja with barely a month left for him at KWASU. The outstanding leadership has seen KWASU, a university which was non-existent 10 years before, become a flying university. His exemplary leadership has seen the birth of many innovative projects like the KWASU Microfinance Bank, which was established to foster the philosophy of entrepreneurship which the university is popular for. Scholarships, research loans to university staff, salary advances, student loans are some of the other services that the bank provides for the advancement of staff, students, and members of the community. As Professor Na Allah commissions the Research Center for Nigerian Language, a center meant solely for basic and applied research on Nigerian languages. He also commissions the magnificent multi-billion naira complex that houses the university library and is referred to as the best library in Nigeria, funded by Tertiary Education Trust Fund, the TET Fund, named after President Muhammadu Buhari, and the Center for Documentation and Archives inside the library building, where Dr. Binta Sulaiman is the director. In July 2019, shortly before Professor Abdulrasheed takes a final bow as Vice-Chancellor of KWASU, a 6-story prestigious library was commissioned. President Muhammadu Buhari was ably represented by Executive Secretary of TET Fund, Professor Bogora, who describes the library as the best in West Africa, if not the best in Africa. On Saturday, 8th of June, Professor Na Allah attends his final ceremony as the Vice-Chancellor of Kwara State University. The occasion, which is graced by the Deputy Governor of Kwara State, Mr. Joe Odedina, and many other well-recognized dignitaries is a befitting final convocation ceremony at KWASU for the outgoing Vice-Chancellor. Now charged with the responsibility of leading the university is Professor Saka Mahmood, the immediate past Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration. He speaks in his capacity as the acting Vice-Chancellor of his experience and task ahead.
The road from Shao to Malete needs to improve. When we always have visitors, accreditors, and other visitors to the university, and one area they complain about is the road.
One project which Professor Na Allah began but could unfortunately not commission before his departure is the magnificent building which is to house the School of Visual and Performing Art and the permanent site of Malete Film Village. Being a man of the heart, Professor Na Allah recognizes the imperative for investing in projects that would enhance its survival.
Okay, in terms of when it's going to be ready, I cannot be very certain, but I think progress is being made. It depends now on the contractor. I think they've been paid up to now, up to this point. But we are looking at probably in less than 1 year that the complex will be completed.
In closing, Professor Saka Mahmood touches on funding as a debilitating factor to the progress of the university, and in one breath, he appeals to the state government to reinstate subventions to the university.
Well, the challenges continue to be that of funding. We still do not have the support of the government in terms of a subvention. Many people now remember that it's been about 5 years that we have not had subvention from the government. Being a government institution, we cannot continue with this. So we have been appealing to the new government for to restate the subvention to the university. Without that, we cannot do much.
ọkọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ wà bí kí a rẹ̀ rẹ̀ fọ́ lójú.